Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is the regular meeting of the Braintree Select Board. It is Tuesday, January 6th, 2026. All select board members are here except for Chelsea, who might be pulling in now. Excellent. Um, and uh, Paul is Kowalski is on Zoom, and Paul, just for your reference in the room, we have Brad Doan, Stuart Kinney, and Paul Kendall joining us this evening, as well as Jesse is here. And here's Chelsea. Hi, Chelsea.
I sent you a message.
I think I have a new recipe. You sent me a message. I might still be in airplane mode.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm like permanently in airplane mode.
it's a way to be, why not?
After self-service anyway.
Well, no, I feel bad, right as you walk through the
Oh,
door,
yeah.
sending you a message.
Were you saying you're testing out a new
I was
recipe?
testing out a new recipe. I got lost track of time.
That's exciting. I hope it worked out.
It did.
Okay.
The car smells great.
Oh, good.
Good, but it's not a complete thing.
All right. I apologize, everyone. Cannot shake this congestion that is accompanying this crud that everyone has. I'm pretty sure I'm not contagious because this is week 3. So really hope it's just a lingering thing. But if I have to excuse myself to cough, I apologize. Taking a look at the agenda, I have a pretty full list here. Does anyone have anything else to add?
The only thing I'll note is that on line 2 at the heading, it's the heading from the last meeting's minutes. So we're not here for a public hearing to review the draft zoning bylaw. It's our regular meeting.
Holy cow. Sorry about that, folks.
Okay.
Okay. No worries. Thank you, Lou, for pointing that out, though. Okay, nothing else. Great. Let's take a look at the minutes from December 16th. Anyone have any? This also includes the minutes from the public hearing on the draft zoning bylaw, which was adopted and should be behind us.
And everything. We'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Lou seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Excellent. Citizens comments. Brad, thanks for joining us. Do you have it's nice to meet you. I don't think we've met. I'm Megan. No. I know your parents though, or I knew Ted. Yes. I'm glad to hear it. So glad to hear it.
So far, you're both from Braintree.
Great. Excellent. We've got that out of the way. Did you have a citizens comment or are you just here to? All right. Excellent. That's much welcome.
Keep in mind that you said that for you.
I know. I will guarantee you that Mr. Kinney will not observe that. Yeah.
We haven't seen it last year.
Yeah, but or whatever.
I yield my time.
All right.
Oh, we'll give him extra, come on.
Yeah, first of all, Hannah Braintree roads are absolutely super this winter, considering everything.
Thank you so much, Stuart. Have a lovely evening.
Well, now get to the
Right. Yes. I think it's called something else.
yeah, it's just before you get to him.
Yes.
Yeah, you can Chelsea into it. I looked at the sand pile today. I don't know if anybody knows it, but these roads, under no circumstances on the weekend, should be sanded twice. Cause people gotta go somewhere, and let them walk if it's that important.
On the weekends?
On the weekends, sanded, they don't have to.
The problem is people work all weekends.
Weekends.
Full. Slow down.
Okay.
Okay, that my road is so good, right, that my neighbors, all of them, can drive 60 miles an hour. I'm at the end of going on to Ben Hill, and they can catch me before I get to Marshes, which is wonderful. They're happy. I'm a little concerned. They should be white roads instead of brown roads, but they're not, from snowbank to snowbank. You can't go off now, even if you try, which is good, I guess, but I wonder if anybody's thinking a little down the road that's. Because, you know, sand's gonna be hard to get in first of all. All I'm saying, it's gonna be hard to get.
Yes, and that's a conversation Lauren and I had last week, actually.
And
We still got two big piles in the pit up there. That's
Well, by all means, use them all up.
yeah, I would, keep dumping them. Dump it.
you gotta remember, it's been snowing about every other day too.
Oh, you gotta remember, there's
Yeah.
one,
So,
and so far I've been nice, now we get to the bad part. There was a lot of new culverts put in. This past summer. Every one now is a speed bump. Every single one you can find in this town. I hope next year, and I don't know how they're gonna fix them. I know how they're gonna fix them, they're gonna dump more and plow it in and it'll be the same next winter. Till we get it down, till it don't take any more dirt. And I don't know why they're like that, but they are.
yeah, I noticed it. I noticed one on Bent Hill. It's that way.
Yes, and you can tell, in an hour, I can tell you where everyone in this town was put in. If you don't slow down, you're gonna be sorry. And I wish they'd have done my culvert out so I could slow my neighbors down, but they didn't.
We can put it on the list for next year.
Yeah, I could, I will. So hopefully that'll be cured next year, somehow. Seeing as how we got a $500,000 grader.
Well, let's see, we put the culverts in, it was a dry summer. The compactor we have is a piece of shit, as far as I'm concerned. And I didn't feel we should go out and just go ahead and buy another one right off. So that was one reason they settled, because they weren't compacted well.
At
I
all.
could have took more time, oh, we compacted them.
Attachment and.
Well, you never know it to go over them right
I
now.
understand, but if the material is not moist. It doesn't compact well,
Right.
and the little square compactor
And
we
then
have.
it compacts after it gets moist, which is then too late, basically.
Right. So, now we're getting some weather, rain, they've settled.
You know how many times I get to cut a tree? No, I'm just asking you, do you know?
How many times you what now?
I get to cut a tree down. Think about that.
Okay,
Good evening, folks.
all right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stuart.
Thank you.
See ya.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Take a 30-second break.
Sure.
Good.
We could, I'll
No,
take
no,
deep
no.
breaths.
Oh, that's fine. To borrow a phrase from Mr. Hellman. I am here as a member of the planning commission, but I'm not speaking for the planning commission.
Okay.
Okay, instead, I just wanted to offer some observations and maybe a question about the future role of the planning commission at this point. From one perspective, all the planning commission has to do is periodically update the town plan and the unified pilot, which we've done. And from that perspective, for the next 5 to 7 years, the planning commission can go to sleep. From another perspective, the planning commission is really an agent of the select board. Okay, not of the town voters, but of the select board. And so, if it does have a near-term justification for continuing to have meetings, it would be helpful to know what the select board would like it to do.
Have directionality.
Okay, and I don't know, whether or not you all have had any conversation along that line, or whether we should have a dialogue with the whole planning commission and you all around the topic. Because if it is something, then there's a reason for meeting. Right now, there's not really much reason to meet.
Okay.
So can I ask?
And it also would raised some questions about what kinds of skills and experience we would want in filling any of the 3 open spots, okay?
Right.
So my question, my question really is, have you thought about it, or is this something that we should forget about in order or go forward with some kind of a dialogue? I don't know. I'm just looking for some direction.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
If memory serves, and it's been a while since I read it, the last bylaws were adopted in 17 maybe, or 14, something in that region. You guys started the work on the town plan. Again, I'm sort of working on what I remember, the town plan and the bylaws 22. Is that about right?
We started working on the town plan in like 17.
Okay, and when does that turn over again?
Well, I think it's like every 7 or 10 years. It's required.
Okay, so then
By state statute.
between when that was finished and when you started on the bylaws, what did the planning commission do?
We started on the unified bylaws immediately thereafter. As soon as you all adopted,
Right.
and the town adopted the town plan, the next thing was to be able to give it some teeth, some direction through the unified bylaw. And so we spent 2 years on that. And if you recall, we decided in the fall of 2023, I think it was, that we would focus on this modernization grant, which was focused on primarily housing. Okay. And so we spent a year working with Two Rivers and Comcast, going through the then current unified bylaw, focusing on housing issues, trying to bring them into conformance with current state regulations as well as current state policy and directions. Okay. Towards the end of that period, as in like after January of 2025, a whole bunch of other issues came up. So we spent a lot of time in looking at the subdivision chapter, the conditional use chapter,
Mhm.
and a bunch of other little issues that sort of surfaced along the way. Basically, from 2017 until the end of 2025, the planning commission was working fairly consistently, not necessarily quickly, but fairly consistently, either on updating the town plan or the unified bylaw.
So it took 8 years to do that, and it cycles every 10. You're really looking at a 2-year window before the planning commission is going again.
2 to 5. I mean, it's pretty relaxed.
Yeah. I'll just note that Paul just weighed in that town plans by statute, have to be updated every 8 years.
But
Yeah.
there's not much of a penalty, quite frankly, if you don't get there in
Right.
8 years. I mean, that's.
It's aspiration. Yeah.
And some towns take an awful long time because it can be contentious. And so the whole process gets dragged out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to figure out, if you're looking for directionality from the board, what's the scope of that? Are we talking about you need 6 months worth of things we would like to see done, or are you immediately turning to the next town plan? Because if it was passed in 17, it's now 26 and we're past our 8 years.
But the last town plan was adopted in 2023.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. But I thought, where did I hear 17?
That's when they started working.
Working in 2017.
So 2023, that means 2031,
It took us like 6 years, 5 or 6 years
which is now.
to get through. And it involved change in leadership and change in membership on the planning commission to get it done. Quite frankly, I mean, these things happen.
Yeah. I'm just trying to work through the stages in my head, and again, if we're going to give guidance, or if it's up to us, or if you're looking to us for insight, we need to know what the scope of that is. Are we talking about 5 years worth of what do they do for the next 5, or is it what do they do for the next 1 before they have to start again on the town plan? You know what I'm saying?
Or Dan, are there things in the town plan
to focus on.
that were identified, if you might remember, the last chapter of the town plan was a list of recommended actions.
Yeah.
Action steps, okay. Has anybody looked at those in the last year?
Not since it was
I
bad.
looked-
Yeah, since it was
All right,
adopted.
all right, I mean, there are a whole bunch.
I mean, I reviewed them when we passed
Okay,
it, but I haven't touched
there are a whole bunch of
it.
things there that,
Yeah.
could, should be addressed. There are a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, but several important, and I think substantive issues that came up during the public hearings
Right, recently, yeah.
that, have not been resolved.
You're talking about for the plan, not for the
No,
bylaw.
no, I'm talking about for the bylaw.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, one perspective, you say, well, fine, you can all wait till come around again, do your formal review process, or you could say, oh, you got
Yeah.
a couple of years, there are a couple of things that are kind of important. And Megan has sent out the note about the tier 1B, okay.
Yeah.
Of the state, which may or may not be applicable and appropriate for us.
Yeah,
But to the extent that the town's plan seeks to encourage housing development in certain areas,
Mhm.
does that just fall flat? I mean, that was just nice to put in a book and put it up on the shelf, or is there something that could be done more proactively?
yeah,
It's always a balance between where you want it and we've tried to identify and
Right.
where we think it's appropriate. With where you say you don't want to encourage it, okay, but sometimes you can overstep both ways, okay?
Mhm.
And further reflection could be useful. I don't know. All I'm saying is I think it's it's not for the planning commission to decide that. It's a question of really whether or not it's worth the effort, because you all think it's worth the effort.
Right.
If I may, the statute that, gives the authority, the powers and duties to the planning commission lists a whole bunch of stuff, I mean, a planning commission can, quote, undertake capacity studies and make recommendations in matters of land development, urban renewal, transportation, blah, 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 blah. So I think the scope of a planning commission's authority is pretty wide.
Yeah.
And the statute gives the planning commission the authority to conduct some of these things. I so appreciate your coming to the select board also to, to factor in some considerations or thoughts that we may have. But I also, when I read this, this authorizing statute, it really brings the public into the process, There's a whole lot of subjects here. And it's not just a town plan that includes all those subjects or the enabling, zoning ordinance that implements or executes on those things. It's, collecting information about what are the concerns. And to your point, Paul, we learned some of that through the bylaw, public meetings, and otherwise. So, I think it's a very valid question that we should give some real thought to. I think you mentioned that there are only 2 remaining members of the planning commission. Malcolm, Paul, and Nathan.
Malcolm's term is up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the 3 vacancies.
Got it. 3 vacancies. So, and I think, depending on what comes of that, what do we want to spend our time on, if anything?
Well, that was my question. Is there a recommendation from the commission that we should?
No, I mean, we have.
Or is that why the question was prompted?
That's why I'm bringing it
Okay,
up.
yeah.
Because it's not even on our agenda.
Right, that was my question. Do you
And-
have something in mind, or are you coming to say, give us an idea?
I'm saying, hey, the commission now, 2 or 3 people, that's, Malcolm's still on until at least to the end of February. We've got a Zippo agenda, okay, and could I recommend to the chair that, hey, maybe something should be added? To your point, a little bit, Lou, about the breadth of the statute. My perspective is the planning commission has very little, if any, involvement in implementation. it passes to the zoning administrator
Mhm.
and to the development review board and to the select board.
Mhm.
Okay. So, for those who are responsible for implementing and executing the plan, tell us what you want. Because why should we go spin our wheels
That's right.
and do nothing and just have another piece of paper that goes up on the shelf?
Yeah.
If we are not an agent of you all to accomplish the
The goals,
focus
yeah.
of what you want to accomplish, then, I'm taking a vacation, guys.
Or you're just doing what you want.
Well, my perspective is,
Yeah.
my
No, I
perspective-
mean, as far as the work in front of you, you're doing whatever you want because we don't care.
Which is simple.
Yeah.
It's simple. I mean, all that wonderful stuff in the statute. I mean, those are just fine words. For the planning commission, but the planning commission can't do any of that stuff. Can't accomplish anything.
I have a different perspective on that, and I think the planning commission by statute does have a little more authority than simply being the agent of the select board. It grants you capacity to administer the bylaws, not just write it, but
No, no,
administer.
we don't administer the bylaws.
I'm just saying, I'm reading from the statute, so
We
there's
Functionally, you don't, but I think
Okay.
Lou's just pointing out that statutorily, if needed, you do have it.
so what I love
But
about,
again, only if the select board says so.
Right, which we haven't
Okay.
in this case.
Okay.
Yeah, we've given it
Yeah.
to the ZA.
Yeah.
but Paul, we have a planning commission.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
argue the point. I mean, I think I understand where you're coming from.
Well, I didn't make my point yet, so how
Uh,
can? Thank you.
Pardon.
So I love what you're coming to us with, which is saying, what would you like us to do? And then, as a member of the planning commission, you said, there's this checklist at the end of the town plan. Has anybody looked at that? Like that's not uniquely within your purview or your knowledge base, but it's something that you're aware of that we might never have come to. So for us to work together, to Dan's point of maybe the planning commission says, okay, we're done with town plan, we're done with the bylaw. What, if anything, do we want to do? Right? Well, there's that list, and there are these couple of issues that came up. That's what I think we should do, right? And then we can do some thinking on our own as well, having participated in some of those public hearings and processes and otherwise, and come up with some recommendations to you. And hopefully we can come up with some manageable, exciting projects that motivate, some new membership on the planning commission as well.
Well, I think I referenced this earlier, Lou, that I think one option here at this particular juncture is to begin a conversation between the planning commission and the select board for precisely that. That's what I said earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that puts us on the same page.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an Alphonse Gaston.
Yeah.
You go first. I think it's something that only we can do. I mean, the planning commission has a meeting next week, okay? We could begin some thoughts, okay? They could then come back and we could have an agenda item on the select board with the planning commission, whoever it is at that point. And we can all have a chat. I mean.
Yeah.
I
think
just don't,
I think
I just
that's a
don't
good
think
idea,
that the
actually.
planning
Yeah.
commission could go ahead and say, this is what we're gonna do without any buy-in.
Yeah, I think in the space before town meeting, Paul, if the remaining planning commission members have any ideas of new members that you could reach out to or recruit, I think that makes sense because I think you do. I mean, you have a very solid idea of the commission's, core function because you've lived it and you've participated in it. And so I think you can use that to recruit people. And
the
hopefully
skill
we
set
can
involved.
appoint new people.
Tell me what we're to do, and then we can figure out what kind of skill sets and
Well-
people we're looking for. That's
Well,
where
in
I
2 years, it's gonna be this again.
Right.
in 2 years.
Maybe.
Nathan and I have 1 year left on the commission, okay?
Yeah.
And if there's nothing,
But I think that generally, I mean, you
I
haven't,
got a lot of other things to do, folks, okay? And so make it worth my time. Tell me what it is that you'd like to have done. My background is, I'm a project guy for solving problems. If there's not a project, not a problem to solve, I can go on vacation.
right. But I think what I'm trying to say, Paul, is that I think that there are projects that we could identify jointly between the planning commission and the select board. And I think that it would be most useful to have as many members of the planning commission participate in the full scope of those conversations as possible. So to the extent that you and Nathan have ideas of additional members that could be recruited in the next several months, we could include them in that conversation so that they're there from start to finish.
Because we have at least one immediate vacancy, right?
We
We've
have
got two.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's
I would say that just right off the bat,
mhm. Yeah,
Lou,
right.
and
He's hired.
Can you do both?
Okay.
I'm writing, not paying attention,
Yeah.
sorry, missed that.
So I think it sounds like a joint meeting is called for at some
Yeah.
point in the near future to hash out. Because I mean, I know just we all still have in mind some of the discussions that we had when we were looking at the bylaw before it was adopted recently. And so I think that there are some issues there that we could dust off and discuss again and provide some discrete tasks to the planning commission based on those discussions. So yeah, I don't think that there's nothing to do. Yeah.
When do you guys meet? The first Wednesday of the month?
Thursday.
Okay.
But we could schedule, a joint select board and planning commission meeting to take place for like the first, portion of our of a select board
That's what I was
meeting.
thinking, next
Yeah.
meeting or the one after.
or probably in February.
Yeah, February.
Maybe in
Just to miss
February.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During that third week.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
Good.
Paul.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Moving on to reports. So the semi-annual report from the emergency management director. We did adopt, as folks know, our local hazard mitigation plan. And then we've also finalized our local emergency management plan, which is more specific to the EMD function and emergency operations. The hazard mitigation plan is kind of broader and somewhat environmental in nature.
Finish.
So, hi, Paul.
Good night,
Hello, Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
guys is a generic term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, Chelsea, I mean,
we got it. No worries. Good night, Paul. So those things have happened and been adopted. Paul Kowalski is seeking reimbursement for the local hazard mitigation plan, as we talked about last meeting, and the work that we've done to complete that along with Two Rivers. There's still a regional emergency management meeting that happens quarterly that I usually Zoom into. Andy is still the alternate. Andy Bent is still the alternate on that. And I think that's all I have to report at this point. Our new regional coordinator from the state agency, Sid, has been really active and engaged. And I've met a couple times in person with the other EMDs from about 5 different towns in the area just to talk about coordinating. The Randolph EMD is particularly active. He frequently organizes different trainings related to emergency management and runs drills and things like that. So I've been keeping up with that. Anybody have any questions? I'll just say again, I think I said this last meeting, but I'm happy to stay on as emergency management director into the next year as well.
You're hired.
So thank you. Highway report.
Where's the notebook?
I
Doesn't
know.
have it.
No.
Plowing, sanding,
Yeah,
too much,
I know.
I like being able to get off the hill at 4 AM, just saying.
hey,
Yeah.
I don't know, we didn't go out this weekend,
I know.
it wasn't the greatest travel, but it was okay.
Yeah. I feel like there has been a little bit of a downtick in plowing and sanding, which I have no problem with. Like,
Mhm.
I think
know-
it's
I know- I
adequate,
know, it ain't like the buses are running over the weekend, so,
right?
you know.
Yeah. It has been a really unusual winter where like you said before, we were getting like an inch or two pretty
It
much
seems
every
like-
night.
Seems like every other day,
Yeah,
More tonight, 2 4.
you know, trust me,
Right.
I'm sick of doing it.
yeah.
I am. I'm ready for green grass already. We're out of salt.
Did they deliver yet?
Nope.
Where do we source salt from?
We usually sign a
Well,
contract.
That's the problem. We didn't
But-
sign a contract, but
The email got lost on the contract, so we didn't sign one for this year, and so we have no. We're having to get it out of someone's good graces.
Okay.
With-
Is that an email that like Dylan was receiving or that?
through
With you,
Paul?
Janice.
Dennis.
Okay. Paul, will
Way
you?
back in October.
Oh, okay. Paul, will you just make a note of that?
Email in October.
I think Grace said she did.
Oh, Grace,
I
got
wasn't
it.
aware
Okay,
On what email, because she was monitoring several.
okay.
And it kind of got glossed over because nobody really understood what
What it was, yeah. So,
So we should have
Paul,
a
I-
contract and signed it then.
yeah, I'll just ask
We
Paul
have
if you
next
make a note of that, that it sounds like salt is an annual contract and that you may be receiving an email notification about that, just
In
to
the fall.
keep an eye out and we can deal with it when it comes around in the fall.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we've been just trying to had trouble with chains breaking. Think we've got that solved.
You had one headlight on that truck plow. Or no high beam.
No, I means on my truck. I spent half a day down Fairfield there, New Hampshire. Waiting for them to fix that. And while I was down there, Stuart didn't hang around long enough. I asked the guys to fix those goddamn holes he's talking about. And it didn't get done, and when I got back, I asked why. Well, the piles froze. Got the chains on the loader. You know, they had another, I forget what the other excuse was, but this week when it warms up, they'll be fixed. And there's one of the holes, the damn thing broke down, Tamper did. The one up on Braintree Hill here, just below Murphy Road. It broke down while we were doing it. So what am I supposed to leave it a hole open? And
Right,
took us a week to get the parts,
yeah.
you know, so yeah, they're gonna get tamped.
And so Lauren, you think some of them will be remedied?
And if you don't have a certain amount of moisture in your material, it will not compact.
No, I understand that, but so what makes you think it's gonna remedy over the next couple weeks because of the warmer weather that we're expecting?
So they're gonna fill them in.
It's.
He's gonna
And
use the advantage of the warmer weather to.
got it, thank you.
There's three of them on the one by Paul's Kendall Road, you know. That one held up, it didn't sink.
Yeah,
It was just damp enough that morning, so
Mhm.
it actually packed.
It's not like it's an uncommon thing. I mean, when Braintree Hill, that long hill on Braintree Hill got redone, every single
Right.
one of those slumped that first year.
yeah,
It was just a fun little.
You know, that-
Right, right.
the ones across Braintree Hill,
Yeah, well, that's what I.
and they're all
that's what I'm saying,
freaking,
yeah.
you know, they filled it. I don't know, I was told when you dig something up and you wanna maintain the road, you have to put back a certain amount of material that came out of that hole.
Mhm.
Unless you replace the whole road, or it's gonna. If you don't, if you put a good material in there, it's gonna drain good,
It's gonna drain on ground.
so it's not gonna freeze, so it's not gonna hump up like the rest of the road. That's right. So you're gonna end up with holes.
Mhm.
And there were some bumps out across there, I tried to get Charles up there several times to smooth off, and he drove right over with a grader and didn't smooth them off one day. I said, what'd you do, forget them? How can you forget them? Yeah, it's been a challenge working with these guys, it really has.
People management is sometimes the hardest part of the
Yep.
job.
Yep.
But
And, you know, yeah, anyway. Probably said enough.
Do you wanna talk about the Western Star?
If that's what you wanna talk about,
Yeah.
yeah,
Did we-
hundred
yeah.
and 81,000
Yeah.
before I trade in.
Did
The
you-
trade-in is the Mac, right? Single.
Yeah, it's
Mac.
6-wheeler there, yeah.
And are we looking for bids from
Well,
other,
I asked
dealers or-
International to give me a price and they never showed up.
but you like the Western Star?
And
They'd like the Western
Yeah.
Star more.
and
That's what I
Mac, they showed up, but he was $10,000 more.
Yeah.
So.
Okay,
And they do like the Western Star.
yeah, I remember that. We don't.
Everybody that drives it likes it better than the Mac. See, you're
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Charles didn't drive it, but he dressed like it's pretty roomy.
Okay,
and then
They
the
do have they need to know what we're gonna go with for a body and then they'll come up with a lease to own. For us.
that was my next question, because the thing says at the bottom it has to be paid for when it comes in, but there is a lease option.
There's a lease option, yeah. I don't think it's in this email.
And you want it, what, 5 years or less?
And they'll do 5 years or less. I mean, Jesse and I talked about it a little bit one day, right?
okay,
And then the plow body is another 116.
116.
Yeah.
No, it's almost 118. 117,956.
She's talking about 290.
And that's
Except-
for a typical body that's supposedly be on the truck, and
Can we,
since when we place the order, it'll be 10 months.
won't we get some trade
I'd
in
like that in writing.
On the
on the 2019? Because this is replacing the 2019, right?
Yeah.
This is replacing the 2019.
Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna small trade in.
how small?
I mean, it's a small Mac. I think the last Mac we traded in, they gave us what, 42 or 72? Was it 72 they gave us?
We
That
have,
was a
For the
tandem.
double, it was a tandem. This is a single, so I would
I'm
bet
thinking 40, 50.
45.
oh, really? Oh, we
40,
had
45.
75 in the.
That's what I'm. It's just a guess.
I would
And-
guess it closer to less.
And in addition to this 181, is there other work that gets done to this truck or other parts that?
Yeah, the 118
Yeah,
plow body.
So we're thinking 290 is gonna be,
Okay.
Without a trade in, and then the trade
Yeah.
in, I bet it's around 45. You're talking about 245 out of pocket.
okay, well, that's within range.
But here's the thing, but if we do it and we go with Jesse's lease route, then it's
Yeah.
really only the 118 out of pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Plus the first year of the 5-year lease, so
Yeah.
181 over 5 years plus the interest, let's call it 42 a year.
Yeah.
maybe, something like that.
okay,
Which
that's
is
in the ballpark.
half of the total cost up front, basically.
Mhm. Okay. Do you want, do you want to wait for quotes from anybody else, or do you want to go ahead and
Okay,
accept this
fine.
quote?
I called them right after the last meeting, and I told
Yeah.
one, they called me and said, why don't you come up here? And I said, I don't want to come up here.
Yeah,
And we can start paying on this in July.
I don't-
I'm buying the
I don't
truck.
need to,
Right.
I don't need to look at the truck
I'm spending
Right.
a quarter
that I'm
million
buying,
dollars.
okay?
You
Right.
come here.
it doesn't exist.
They wanted me to drive up there and look at some trucks on the bottom.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to drive up. You come here, give me a price for the truck I want.
Yeah.
They never showed up.
Okay,
But we need to place the order probably right around town meeting.
okay, so
Right.
we can,
Like 3 to 4 months out, isn't that right?
The truck, yeah.
okay,
Um,
but we
the
can
body-
use this proposal to get the order in for the body, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you can order the body now, it's not gonna be a year.
right. But so that's really the thing, is that you need to give this,
I need to give this
to-
guy an
the-
answer
right,
now, get
Yeah.
on the list.
yeah. Right,
And do we have to
Give-
sign the lease option to get on the list or just?
No, we're talking about for the plow body,
we're
the plow
doing-
body's a year out, the truck is 3 or 4 months out, so we have to sign up
truck-
for the plow now.
They need to know
What kind of truck we're getting?
what we're getting for equipment and how
Okay.
much the equipment's gonna
All right, so we need to vote on this tonight.
At least that, yeah.
Okay,
And we're
You can
not automatically doing the lease, we wanna know what their terms
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
and so
right.
on.
right. But,
What the payments are.
I would just approve both and then.
But he said
well,
he
we can't
needed, he
approve the
needed
lease yet. 'cause we
what
don't
we were
have
gonna get for
terms.
equipment.
No, you can approve
In
him
order
to
to
explore
figure
it
it
though
out.
for that truck.
Oh,
Cause he's
yes.
gotta know
And how
that
much we're gonna
truck,
pay
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
this plow body, you know what I'm saying? The
Yes.
Tenco has to know what truck we're seeking in order to know
Yes.
how to price it. and-
I gotcha. Yeah. So we don't need to vote to accept the terms of the purchase of the chassis tonight, but we do need to vote on the quote that we've
For this
received
particular
from
truck,
Fairfield. Yeah,
assuming we move forward.
yeah. Okay.
What?
You want more time, Lou?
Well, no, I'm just having a hard time, authorizing the purchase of a.
Chassis without a truck,
Yeah, right?
I get you.
It just feels like, if we're doing this, we are in effect going with that truck.
Yes, we are.
So why aren't we authorizing both tonight?
We don't have the terms of that lease. on.
Yeah, so we're gonna explore
So
the
that-
5-year
Decide
lease.
whether we're gonna
Okay.
get this truck, but whether we lease it or buy it is the
Yep,
next. one.
understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
So if everybody's comfortable with the specifications that Lauren shared from Western Star, from
Yeah.
Charlie Boys, then we can move forward with this, knowing that the purchase or the lease of
He'll,
the Western Star is gonna happen.
Dan will come down and go through it with me or with Jesse and
Yeah.
come up with the.
And we just kind of want to do that
It's gonna be-
sooner rather than later, right? Because the term, prices can change, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, yes, and this is a 12 to 18 month lead time to get that.
Right. No, I get it. But we also want to lock in at that 181.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Here, I'll let you make the motion.
Is there a window on the quote?
On this
Well,
quote,
that
For
one we need
Western-
to
for
do is
Charlie Boy?
ASAP.
Yeah, for the chassis.
this doesn't have expiration on the quote. Just gives you a quote date, but
It
not.
says the date that it was prepared.
You wanna
Yeah,
talk to the guy?
I didn't see one, Chelsea.
I was just curious, because sometimes they give you 30-day window or something.
Yeah, this says
Yeah.
net due is 117,950 if paid by 2/5, but
So a month, in theory.
yeah, but if you accept it, they're gonna have to honor it in
Yeah.
a year and a half, you would assume.
Lauren, can you ask Charlie Boys what the shelf life on this quote is?
The what?
Like how long the quote that they gave us for the Western Star is gonna be good for?
That's the salesman. He'll answer the phone. Wanna
Don't
talk to him?
honor it.
No.
Yeah,
No, we don't need that.
he'll talk to us right now.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the terms of the quote from Tenco for the plow body for the Western Star that we intend to buy.
I'll
Second.
Okay, Chelsea seconds. Any other discussion?
With the understanding that we're gonna move quickly on the truck.
Right,
Yeah.
once we have the lease.
Right.
Option. Okay, all those in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay,
and Jesse, I don't want to jump too quick to vehicles and equipment, but it feels like in a way that could help those numbers with 240 all in on that, less 40 of a trade-in financing it.
Not 240 all in.
It's 290 all in.
245. Sorry, the 40 that I'm thinking of is we've got 285 in for this truck.
Yeah,
Right.
it's more like 300 minus the 40.
Okay, this feels like it
Yeah.
might help the vehicle and equipment fund a little bit.
It's gonna help it
Is
is
the lease option.
the lease option.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
Great, thank you.
okay. Anything else for highway?
And I even think of right now.
I'll just resurrect, what was it that Stuart said at the beginning of his conversation?
Roads look great.
Oh,
The
yeah,
roads
how
look
great the
really
roads are.
good.
So just a reminder.
Yes,
I thought
Thank
there
you,
should be a
Lauren.
Compliment at the end, the compliments.
I know.
Lead in.
Thanks.
okay. Paul, grants report.
Okay, hello everyone. As Megan mentioned, we filed for reimbursement of the LHMP grant on December 17th. Jesse, is that payment showing up yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right, so that's to be expected, or can be expected. And on the 31st, just last week, I submitted the documentation for reimbursement for the bylaw modernization grant. And as you all know, we did make the timeline to have the match forgiven. So by my calculations, and I think this is right, I'll confirm it. We've got 10,505.71 coming from state of Vermont.
Excellent. Thanks, Paul.
Sure.
Is there any, I haven't taken a look at your grants tracking sheet in a little while, but maybe prior to the next meeting, if you want to send around an updated version of that, we can take a look at it and see if there's anything else that we need to add or tackle next.
Yep, absolutely. I'll probably get that out tomorrow.
Fantastic.
And could you send that to all of us, Paul, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Excellent. Okay. All right, let's move on to the budget. I sent around a different version of the documents earlier today because they had some of the highlighted areas that Jesse had flagged. And so if folks have those open, I guess first, do we want to look through the financial report first? Because I think you sent the financials from the year ending, right, Jesse?
It looked great. We were over in like 9 out of every 10 categories. Right?
So are you being sarcastic?
No, yes,
Okay.
incredibly over budget. One of them was like 300 and something over 300% of the actual budget.
Somehow we ended up still coming in $10,000
I know,
in the,
I know. I saw that. I'm not sure how that happened.
so.
Hey, can I ask though, what is that $193,000 random number that blew that line like 300% over budget? You'll forgive me where it was.
Remaining surplus expense.
Yeah,
Oh,
but what is that?
that was just ARPA business.
Okay.
The triggering off of all the ARPA
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah. So that came
It's in the same-
right.
in the real sense.
So that came out in the wash in the revenue line
Okay.
where we inserted
Could
the
have been not a real expense.
What are you guys looking at?
So Lou, if you look
I'm
at
trying to picture it in my head, Lou, because I could just sort of briefly.
it's line 10,
In the
4,050.
meeting
In the meeting packet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent today,
Yep, yep.
if you, yeah,
Are you
Well,
riveted?
no, you sent the budget.
Yes,
there's also a,
status report.
there's also a financial report.
You, I got it.
Okay.
The auditor's done? The auditor's done?
For the most part, I mean, they're just doing the prop stuff now. Not that the rest wasn't.
I mean, I didn't have many real questions. The ones we were over on drastically, it felt like we knew we were gonna, like the sand line was just crushing.
Yeah,
But I mean,
and
we
all
knew
of
that
the
was
work
coming.
that,
But next year the sand line will be zero expense.
that's
right?
what we
No,
say
it won't
every
be,
year.
but once it's done, we're gonna use the 2 other piles down there.
I
No,
all I said was,
he said
we have 2
we
other
have
files if
them if we
need
need
more.
them.
They're
If.
crushed already.
You know, if it don't snow every day, we won't use it all.
We're gonna turn a corner here soon.
I hope so. You know, here we had drought half the latter part of the summer and I think it's making up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we actually ended up,
Pretty good.
yeah, we still have in the bank, 29% of our budget, which is more than we need, so.
What did they say, usually 20
15.
or
Basically, They've said 12 to 15, but they've also said as much as 20.
Okay.
So,
So we're doing very well. Okay.
And that doesn't include the 2 reimbursements that Paul just suggested also, right?
Well, that's this
That's
fiscal
the
year.
fiscal year.
This is end of
Yeah.
for
Got it.
yeah.
This was July. And we're sitting on for this year, $190,000 worth of that culvert expense that will come back a year later, right? So
Hopefully.
we're like 1 year behind on that.
Right. Yeah, the sand line is
Well,
So
so
we're-
we can keep it within budget. Yeah, yeah, not the same.
okay.
Are these actual numbers, have they been sort of translated into the 27 budget proposal?
yes.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, in the actuals.
Was there anything that was frightening or you said, oh, we really have to change that for next year?
Yeah.
Lauren took my budget, so I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jesse, do you want to start with the general fund budget or the special funds?
General fund is fine.
Okay.
So yeah, I mentioned to Lauren a couple days ago, these things that we needed from him, which were. The Rochester Hollow number, we're gonna stick with 8,000
Mm-hmm.
as a potential income for 2027.
Did we up our price last year? We went to what per?
So.
I think it's been a couple of years.
But I did find the letter that was sent, it's 150 for 26, 175 for 27, and 200 for 28, but I don't see anywhere where sand price per yard changes, so it just is at $15 a yard.
Yeah. I don't know,
Okay.
I'm sort of making it up in the hourly. I guess is the thing, and our sand price hasn't changed drastically, I mean, it's crushing unless we tried to capture the site work, but that changes from year to year, there's no steadiness to it, right? Like the crushing and the material costs are roughly the same year to year. What's his face has gone up 25 cents in 3 years on crushing, so it's not like that.
Does anybody, we discussed this McCullough's crushes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so do you want to stick with the 8,000 for Rochester Hollow? We had 12,000 budgeted in 25, but we only brought in 66. We've got 8 budgeted this year.
Is your bill today?
We
Well,
sent, it's 5,500. It's for November and December.
I can go with 10,000, so. If the winter don't give up. We're gonna spend another, you're only halfway through the winter, not even.
Yeah.
Oh, you've already spent 5,500 over.
That's
in
what she's
Rochester?
already said.
Oh,
Mhm.
God. Yeah.
A couple of them were, couple of things with trees, but. That's minor compared to what, plowing and sanding.
Yeah, and we've got 8, we're gonna be over our 8.
That's what I said. When was,
It's income,
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying,
so.
10,
yeah, I would do 10,
So-
especially if the price is going up.
Okay, so I'll change that to 10. And then, we can circle back around to that transfer from the general fund.
Okay.
I'm not sure why I had the next 2 lines highlighted, so I guess I won't worry about those.
I think that you had highlighted those, Jesse, because at one point you had included or you had made a note to consider mileage. But that didn't need to, yeah, exactly. So I think we're good there.
This is all.
Okay.
I've left the health benefit lines highlighted just because I'd like Grace to take one final look at that
Okay.
at some point in time. Assistant treasurer salary, I guess it's not really a whole lot anyways. So whether we keep it or lose it or whatever, it's not gonna really change the bottom line at $500, so.
I think
probably okay.
That's fine. I think we've always just had it there as a placeholder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as that hazard mitigation there, it's been there 2 other times.
Mhm.
So I just didn't, I don't know if you, I feel like every board feels like certain things should be in certain places, and so we end up with all these different numbers. If you really feel strongly about it being moved to whatever it was, then
Emergency services or
I'll
something.
do that, but.
I don't feel strongly about it. I may have at one point, but I think it's fine to keep it where it is. The local hazard mitigation plan is more of a planning function than it is an emergency management function. So I think it's fine.
And that's where it's been, and that helps the voters see it
Yeah,
and compare it.
right.
Okay, and then, oh, I think Megan, you were gonna confirm those prices with Jackson?
Yeah, he did. I thought he got back to me on that and confirmed that they were okay, or maybe I circled back with him and he never responded to me. Let me check on my email. I'll look back at my email on that.
Oh,
What?
we're not there yet. We made it to the fire budget yet?
The fire budget?
Fire contract.
No, we haven't made it yet. Alright, so I think,
Just call it the Braintree Fire Department.
so the next thing is back to Lauren. It was that training for the whole,
Chainsaw.
yeah, and Grace didn't give me a price from whatever she found. Were there prices on that?
I'm lost.
I
Pretty small.
just. I don't think they're.
I'm doing my best.
I don't think they're that expensive, but
Same place.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
CVS, man. 3 packs.
Let's leave it.
Gets us where we are.
If it's, $2,000 or something, we'll wait another.
I printed double sided, so sorry.
Yeah.
Same paper.
So we reached out to VLCT again about passive prices for this year yesterday, and well, they now have them, but they're compiling some crap, so
Okay,
they still can't give them to us. Maybe
Okay.
by the end of this week or next.
okay.
What are you talking about now?
The property and
I'm not sharing my
liability.
screen 'cause Lauren took my budget.
Oh, sorry. We're at the town insurance line.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry,
So-
Jess, you said this week or next?
Yeah.
That's enough time to, before we have to vote, right?
Highway insurance.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a number for the fire department?
Well, I just, as a interesting note, I happened to have a conversation with the fire chief recently, who said our actual cost for fire stuff this last year was roughly 30 some odd thousand.
Braintree's actual cost?
Yeah.
Actual cost for Braintree's. If you figure the man hours and the equipment hours, we're right around 30 to 40, somewhere between 30 and 40,000.
So does he want to renegotiate? Cause our
No.
current
So
He's
deal
not
is-
saying that, he's saying, because he didn't negotiate it with us. The select board, the town manager are
it's
the ones.
nothing to do with the
Fire department.
Yeah.
itself.
fire chief.
Right.
Okay, this is.
It's
select
just,
board,
we happen to
select
come
board,
across this
okay?
information.
So in other words, he just dug some information out of Andrew. And this year, the fire calls were less than last year in Braintree.
And there's variance year to year, but it's interesting that our cost is half of what we paid.
Less than half.
Less than
Yeah.
that.
I mean, this,
Substantially.
I've never understood what this number is, and no one has
It's-
ever told us.
The,
no, we renegotiated this like several years ago.
Well, I know, with Alfonso or whatever his name was.
And it's based on
I
the grand list
Well, yeah.
essentially in each community.
for the next select board meeting, I'll get a call list what we had.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good to see.
We had-
Yeah.
Overall, we had the highest number, we had a record set of calls. 185 or 86 calls. And the only one that comes even close to it was Irene. Irene.
I guess my point is,
But-
like, I understand equitably, there's not many other ways to do it, but sort of a grand list value. But,
Right.
but it's interesting that the
Well,
reality versus what the formula is quite different.
I mean, it's also quite different because, and I remember that at the time that we were renegotiating this was, I think, around the time that the new fire station was being built.
Yeah.
And so they had quite a bit of debt.
Yeah.
That we're
shuffling on that.
we're participating in essentially by using fire services through Randolph. And so it's not just about calls.
I know when
it's
Andy
about
said something to me, I said,
all
I
of
think
the
there's also,
overhead.
like the overhead cost. that's
Yeah.
figured in here, which is.
I think it's
reasonable, right?
significant.
For
Yeah.
sure, and it has to be.
Yeah.
Who else do they provide services for?
Um,
Brookfield,
East Granville,
East Granville,
Rochester Hall,
Rochester, Hollow,
you
really?
know, that's like Rochester out.
Yeah,
you
oh, Al,
Called out there, that's
Gilead
Rochester,
Brook,
so we bill
Yeah.
Rochester.
yeah.
Granville, if you go into Granville, we bill Granville,
He's grand, yeah.
East Granville, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But not Brookfield,
They have their own.
They have their own, so it's neutral aid,
yeah.
so there's no.
And do we know when our contract?
They give us a
Oh.
number every year.
Yeah, they give us a
It's-
number,
it's not, it's kind of we have like essentially an MOU,
Yeah.
like a standing MOU, where we agree to the formula that's used to come up with our costs annually.
'Cause we had a big
And
meeting
it
about
stays
this,
that
and
way until we
What's
renegotiate it.
face came in here, the old guy, I forget his name, French was his last name, French, came and talked to us about it. Cause the whole deal was, it went up like 70 something percent in a year, or 42% in a year, or some massive number, and we kind of went, you guys gotta explain this, cause what the hell?
Right.
but is it worth us looking into, is that debt retired, you know, is there
I don't know.
new set of circumstances?
I think the last time we negotiated it, we ended up at a number around 58, and that was 6-7 years ago, so we're
A
up.
while ago.
We're up, what is that, 60% at
Yeah.
that time?
Yeah, it was definitely in like the high 50s.
Start budget for the village department's around 100,000. If we pay 81, I think the bill is. 80 something, right?
What's the line item, Randolph town report?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I haven't looked that up.
Just curious.
Yeah.
I'll have to have this diagram.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying we need to cause a stink over it, I'm just, bringing up an interesting,
Yeah.
how much is the overhead?
Okay. Put it on the
We're
to-do
thinking
list.
about when we see what the number is,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, who
I mean, if
knows?
it jumps to like 92, yeah, let's talk about it.
We
Yeah.
we haven't got billed, right, for it?
No.
This next year.
They send us like a projection essentially.
And the
And-
original bill from the.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
remember.
Next
that.
Tuesday. If they hold it, we're supposed to have a fire advisory, and the town manager is supposed to be there.
Okay.
And if you wanna come and sit,
No way, man. I don't have time for that, that's all you.
yeah.
You love it.
All right. Special appropriations.
So the only one that we hadn't really heard from was Safeline. I think Grace emailed them today, and she also emailed Jackson asking for the letter requesting that amount and the letter for the town report. So
Okay.
Some increases there.
There's
Huh?
that.
And some decreases.
I didn't see that. Oh, the historical.
Yeah.
Next page is more passive insurance we're waiting for, and then the tentative 50 to the capital reserves.
Okay.
And Lauren, what did you tell me about the 500 for bridge maintenance? Were you gonna check into that, or are you gonna go with that?
No, it was more than 500, it was 750 almost to redo the tread planks on Lemring Road.
Which needed.
They all chewed up in the snow machines.
That's on the capital. Yeah, we put the Lemery repair on the capital budget. This is the routine bridge maintenance, like the washing that we're supposed to do.
To rent something and wash.
You can
the
fill that
bridge.
hole there on Limbury with this 500 that Kukuzo's so worried about.
Yeah, we're supposed to wash the
Hello?
bridges every year.
Yeah, they've been lost, I guess. Something last year.
What did we spend? We didn't spend any last year?
No. 'cause
I
we
would
didn't
just
do
leave it. If the planks are in a different line, then just leave it here, because it might be that we don't even use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the question is 500 enough to do the bridge washing? We don't know that it
Plus,
is.
it cost us nothing last year because it didn't appear.
Well, because it didn't happen.
If
If you don't do it, it
It's
doesn't
cheap enough to do
happen.
things.
Well, we can just keep
That's
that.
You know, they should,
Yeah.
they should be washed because of the salt.
So I think the question is to Lauren, how much should we budget for the washing to happen this year, this summer?
That's what they're gonna use. You know, they got hoses and stuff on there, so. Probably good enough.
Okay, we keep it at 5.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
So,
Oh, let's go back up to the transfer.
well,
Or that
let's
was,
go to the bottom line.
okay,
Because, so I bet 50,000 coming out of the general fund to go towards income.
We're off. This is our offset.
As, yeah, because without that, we're at 10%. At a 10% increase. And that is keeping the 50,000 transferring into the capital bit.
That's what we did last year too, right? Was it 50 last year?
So in 25, I only moved 30 in 26, I have
We-
0 going.
agreed to 50, but Jesse only, I think we said we would do up to 50, but we ended up just doing 30, right? Is that,
Last year,
Which one are we talking about?
the offsets.
yeah,
Okay, I was talking about the capital.
oh,
So,
sorry.
Sorry.
No, I think we had 50.
Okay.
Well, we budgeted 105 last year.
That was for 3 different things.
Yeah,
That
there
was
was
50 for the 50
Snowsville?
to Snowsville, the 50 to the budget, and the 5 for the
For the fund.
The fund.
farms.
Thank you.
So, if you leave 50 going towards the bottom line and 50 going into the capital budget, that leaves your increase at 5.55% currently without the passive numbers being in there. So,
likely to go up.
We don't know.
sure.
Yeah.
We're
off the top of your head, where are our increases? Our 100,000 in increases. Insurance, I assume, is a big one.
yeah, insurance on
Highway wages, highway insurance.
Yeah, not because the
It's
rates
like
have gone up, but because
44
we're insuring more
only.
people, yeah.
Couple little ups.
You guys costing us 500.
Mhm.
And
Fix that.
highway operations, well, that includes the 50 going into the capital reserve, so. So that's what that went up by, Let's see here.
We'd also talked about more
And that,
incrementally increasing the sand line over years.
and that 50 we didn't have last.
We did, we increased it,
For what?
60.
I know, but it was at 60 last year.
And then it was at 41 the year before that.
Yeah, but we were gonna go again to like 75.
Well,
But we decided not to because we foresee that expense going down significantly.
you know, when you look at this line by line, you know, there's minuscule little ups and downs, except for these few big items of finally a full road crew.
Yeah.
Right. And the wages and insurances attached to that. And the extra $50,000 toward the capital reserves. Something that we didn't have last year. You know, it appears to me line by line to be reasonable increases.
Yeah.
Or things you can't mitigate.
Things you can't mitigate. That's better way to describe it. On the $50,000, you know, transfer from the general fund, we need that to get to this 5.5%. So I think that's an important contribution from the general fund. And when you look at the capital reserve, that 50,000 is also necessary to make that a sustainable plan. So I'm just saying that I feel like those transfers, as you know, as uncomfortable as they are sort of necessary.
Yeah. I don't know.
How do we keep doing the offsets?
Well, if we keep running a 30% surplus, it feels hard not to justify it, but I totally agree with you that it's not sustainable.
Yeah, but my thing was I didn't think we would have a 30% surplus. I thought we entered this year thinking it would be drastically lower than that.
Yeah.
I'm pleasantly surprised that we have it, right? And I don't mind spending it for this purpose. It's just impressive to me that we're there in the first place, because that was not our expectation.
Right.
When we talked 2 or 3 months ago, we thought, I don't know that we'll have an offset to give.
Right. Yeah, no, that was definitely.
You know, when you ask, well, what can we mitigate? It's really unmitigable things like, okay, don't buy a truck. You know, or
cut employees.
don't, or have a smaller team. You know, and those are the kinds of big moves that we would have to make that I think are not moves that anybody would want us to make based on a service delivery.
Right. Or in like, especially in the past handful of years, not necessarily this year, but in the past handful of years, the cost increases that we've been facing have had nothing to do with our operations.
Right.
They've had to do with external factors like health insurance premiums going up
and cars,
and inflation
and sand costs.
Right. And all of these things that we have no control over operationally, but impact our bottom line. And that feels like it's less of a pressure this year. So it feels like maybe we can afford and be and responsibly make this transfer from the general fund for this year.
I'm not fighting.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand.
Right.
As I wasn't expecting it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I so appreciate the work that goes into the long-term planning. And you know, we have to think about the replacement of the truck that we just authorized the plow for. We got to think of that 8 years down the road, because it's exorbitant. And this is the cost until the voters say we want something dramatically different in terms of level of service.
Right. Yeah. Jesse, the 29% surplus, does that factor in the ARPA cash? Or is that, did you transfer that into a different place so that it's not?
Yeah, I think I transferred what I needed to into the two accounts.
Yeah.
Into the
The restoration fund
yeah.
and then the town campus.
Yes.
So we parked it there in those two places. So that 29%. So we're not taking 50 that. What I'm asking is, are we taking 50,000 from ARPA
No.
to alleviate the increase?
Oh, she's already moved that. She
Okay.
moved it last year.
Okay. All right.
Can
Then
I,
I'm fine. Yeah.
can I ask about the IT software and support line?
Yeah.
Cause does that include like our website rebuild that we had last year in our 2025?
We, if you look at the capital plan, we added a line for the building of the site, but the operational expenses of maintaining the site will come from that IT software and support line.
So that includes more than just like the website and stuff like that, okay. I
Yeah,
was
it
just curious 'cause
includes
went up.
like the,
Yeah.
who's the new
Blue
Blue Mantis,
Yeah,
and it includes our
Okay.
backups and all of that.
okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Looks good.
Okay.
I'm all for it.
Okay, so we'll have hopefully final numbers at the next meeting in January.
The other thing that I want to remind us that we're not doing this year that we've done in prior years is transfer to the gravel pit reserve.
Right,
And so,
and we're gonna need to explain that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
How do we do it?
well, it's just,
Exactly.
it's money that has been going to something that doesn't look like a viable enterprise
Right.
now, and we have other things that are viable enterprise.
Right, we have
So,
services that we need to provide.
You know, we're used to paying
Reasonable
50,000 into that, some of that
Yeah.
15,000 can get
Oh, we got
reallocated.
dug down there, it's gotta be.
Yeah, we have some money in the gravel pit fund to help with restoration. Okay,
I'm not saying all of it.
vehicle and equipment.
Yeah. Sure.
Good part of it this year.
Jesse, you have one thing highlighted in vehicle and equipment, which is the transfer from general fund for FY 26. Looks like it's zeroed out.
So,
How do we got to
wait, vehicle equipment. So, I have the general fund contribution in there still. The transfer from general fund with a question mark was.
Yeah.
Because we were originally we thought we were gonna move 100,000 capital reserve, and then we ended up having to spend so much on a few different things that we couldn't afford to do that. Excuse me, and so then I just kind of threw that in there to see if, there was any interest in moving anything out of the general fund. I'm not necessarily a fan at this point in time. And, like we were just saying, we're gonna be sitting on that gravel reserve, that gravel reserve fund, that, what are we gonna do with it? So, I mean, I think that that's something that would be better used to go, like, reappropriate that money to go into the vehicle equipment fund and help the vehicle equipment fund out more so than a one-time purchase of sand down the road because nobody has a gravel pit.
Right, okay,
So that's my feeling.
okay.
So I just thought I threw that in there just in case anybody had strong feelings one way or the other. I would just soon, I mean, we may end up having to go back to what we used to do a long time ago, which is finance almost the whole entire purchase.
Yeah.
Right.
And, that would be what it will be.
Which is somewhat what we're doing with the leases, but not quite the same.
Right.
I'm sort of walking a line with the leases.
Right.
Jesse, am I right that the principal on borrowed funds that shows up on expenses every year in 2026 and 27 are the principal on the grader,
Right.
okay, and probably 20.
Majority of it, other than the 30,000 that goes to the state of Vermont each year.
Okay, and then when we get to 27 and we add in the $285,000 truck replacement, that,
So currently the only thing that's in principal on borrowed funds is the 30,000 from 25, the greater payment, and another 30,000 for the new $150,000 that I'm suggesting we try to get from the state again.
so is there sense in our projections to sort of just assume this 5-year financing lease to buy, lease to own plan for each of the vehicles and add that to the borrowed funds and calculate roughly the new principal and interest on those for each of the new vehicles as we go out in time, so that the balance on hand.
You say change it from an
More-
outright purchase to the 5, like spread it over 5 as a lease?
Yeah. Because we don't have income otherwise. And I think we're realizing with the new costs of vehicles that we're probably going to continue to do that. And we're just projecting, this is just our plan for the next 10 years of vehicle purchases. And right now, unless something changes, it feels like that might be helpful. And that's what I was sort of alluding to earlier in the meeting, that I think it can help out our bottom line on balance on hand in the vehicle and equipment fund if we spread it out and we finance those things. Why would
I
you?
just think it's harder to see, because right now, no one in the town can see what that grader cost us.
Right, unless we did also principal on borrowed funds for greater, principal on borrowed funds for,
No, man, then you're getting complicated.
say again?
Then it's getting a little complicated.
I think it's not getting complicated. It's complicated for me when it, at all those payments on two or three different things are lumped into one. So I'm not trying to make work. I'm just trying to say, I think we're shifting our plan a little bit from outright purchase to lease option, which is effectively a 5-year purchase. Or 5-year.
Yeah, but that's complicated also by the fact that for the trucks, you have to buy the plow body, so you have to, the first year would be a big expense and then it would wean out over the next 4, right? So it's not a straight up divisible by 5, it's a 120 plus the first year and then 4 more years.
I don't know, I'll maybe look at it tomorrow, play around with it a little.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that the grader doesn't show up anymore.
Well, it does in principal on borrowed funds.
Yeah.
Right, but nobody can see that it costs us $475,000.
Right.
Unless they have.
And, we could, if we did line by line for each vehicle, you could have
Well,
principal on.
Still don't have total, I mean.
Yeah.
You gotta add them on.
well, next year when the actual for FY26 is in here, you'll see, right?
No,
Cause you only see the 1 year.
because of the lease, the way the whole lease is going in the bottom.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
You
yeah,
see
yeah.
the total cost, you see one.
Yep.
piece. Like, see a yearly.
Okay. Yeah.
And this takes us into the hole.
Because what we used to do is we used to borrow, it's gonna cost us $300,000, we would borrow $250,000 and take 50 out of there.
Mhm.
So it was a lot easier to put 250,000 coming in and
Right.
300,000 going out.
Right.
And then you had your principal and interest on your borrowed funds across the bottom. And it just all shook off that
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
So with the leases, it technically makes it a little messier. Because you're not borrowing hardly anything, if anything,
Mhm.
and
It's the words, right? It's not accurate words.
yeah, so. You know, we're not having to necessarily borrow, but there is an interest
Baked in though.
baked into the lease. Which. So that's something that's gonna have to be looked at with this next lease to see if. It's just,
Straight up.
If the borrow is better than the lease.
right, if the borrowed ends up being better. I mean, there used to be a day where Mascoma used to just come in and they just gave us 2%
Yeah.
to match, even if, it was more than the 100 or the 150 that the state was gonna give us, even if it was like $200,000, they would just match the 2% interest rate and we get the money from them, but
Those days are gone.
those days are kind of gone, and it's hard to know, is it because of the turnover at the bank? Cause I really don't feel that warm and fuzzy there anymore. Or is it just because of the banking industry now and it's that way no matter where you go?
Yeah.
So it's all
Mhm.
stuff that, needs to try to.
One other thing I like about the vehicle and equipment proposed budget is, I don't like it, but I like showing a $5,000 increase on the general fund contribution each year. It's like, I don't know how we're even gonna do it, but it's good to show that this is gonna keep getting worse, you know? To, to model the difficulties we're facing.
5,000 is a drop in the bucket or.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
And wait till we get the capital reserve.
But it's a signal though.
Yeah,
in
it's
a
a
5 year.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it needs to be more, but it just feels like I'd like to see if there's a way we can get more accurate with those future year balance on hands.
I don't know. I just feel like there's so many different,
Scenarios.
right. And, by the time we get to 2029, what are our options gonna be? And is that even gonna be an accurate amount anyways? So I just feel like just kind of a placeholder at, this is what we're looking at in that year. And we've got to figure out how to cover this negative $131,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Which we're simply ballparking, could be
Right.
worse.
Yeah.
But we don't think that, for instance, in 29, the new JD loader, no, the new,
Another truck.
yeah, the new truck. The payments for that are not included in that 145, are they?
Right, no.
That's where, like, I just would like to factor the costs in of those purchases.
I don't particularly like that because I don't want people in the town to think that we have a freaking clue of what the hell, I mean, if we're gonna sugarcoat everything and be like, oh yeah, we've got it all under control. We don't have it under control. We have no freaking idea.
But I think
So I can pretend that this is what it's gonna be then. But that's 4 years away.
It is, but we're not, I just want us to account for both cost or income and cost. All right, so we've got $300,000 on here that Oh, so you're saying, Jesse, that you like just saying, yeah, we have to come up with $300,000 that year. And I don't know how we're gonna do it yet.
Yeah. It's like a blunt instrument sort of
Yeah.
methodology there.
Okay, I buy that. Thank you.
Gives time
Sorry.
to chew on it.
Right.
Well, and it's better to frighten people than it is to sort of eat
I mean,
in.
And it goes back to, it shows them how much the thing costs, whereas the 472.4 is
right, so if we're
trying
gonna
to bury it.
you know, we're gonna guess that we can do all this great stuff and make these all be positive. The bottom line be positive when we have no idea about
Yep.
what's gonna happen.
I hear you. Thank you. Sorry, it took
Okay.
me as long as it always does.
Okay, Lou.
Good question.
Yeah.
In the same seas fall. You just do it.
All right. What's next?
Capital plan.
I don't know. But
I think we just need to make sure we have everything in here that we need to have in here for at least the next year. I think
we're talking
we
about
do.
this is gonna be from July of this year to July of next year.
Yeah.
Right? So
I think we do.
we talked about
Yeah.
grant incomes. And the ones
Are you, Lou?
the ones we can count on are the structures grant and the class 2 surface grant.
Yep.
So as long as those are in there, that's the only ones I'm for sure on. You're gonna do that one next year?
Well, I think that might have been in an email from.
Yeah,
Rita,
from
maybe?
Rita. Yeah, that's not on
I
here.
think I was confused about.
Yeah, the grant and aid, I guess you that on.
Yeah, that's not here. Okay. I think that might be the only thing that is missing,
Yeah, these two.
because we have this,
Those
yeah,
definitely.
yep.
And Grass and Aid had quite a significant amount.
And this is the class 2 you're talking about, so that's there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I think it was 51.7, something like that. For the grant and aid. Like our match was like 8. roughly.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
not too bad.
Okay.
On income, is there any reason to not to delete that last line of general fund contribution executive that's zeroed out for every year?
Yeah,
No, I think I can now.
Yeah,
Maybe I mean, because technically it had been in there for stuff like the new website and Bradley water system and IT related equipment and. We were putting $8,000 in there a while ago, but. I think when we tried to start getting stuff tighter.
Jesse, did you, sorry if I can't remember this, maybe we've talked about it, but did you ask the auditors where we should put the reimbursement for the water filtration system, the Bradley's water filtration system?
They saw it there and didn't.
They didn't say anything.
have a problem with it,
Okay,
So.
that's fine. I was just wondering. It's kind of an odd thing. I just wasn't sure
That
where
makes
it's
sense
supposed to go.
It's a decision we made. It's like a
Yeah.
function sort of decision.
But it doesn't belong to us.
No, but it was our expense that we took on, like at our behest.
Right, but is it a capital
Yeah.
expense, I
I
guess
think
is what I was.
And what line in the general?
Executive. General fund somewhere.
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
okay.
I mean, I feel. And that's another thing that I've gone back and forth with the auditors on. I feel like. All of these funds, it's a lot easier to see stuff in these funds, like than the cemetery funds, especially, and so on. It's a lot easier to look in the town report and see.
Yeah.
What your expenses are and so on, than it is to look in the general funds and be like. You know. 'cause
What is the number 10,594?
Right.
In here, it's not gonna
Yeah.
say the Bradley water system.
Right,
Right.
right.
You know, if, you can see in the capital that we spent 1,400 on the water system, or 11 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So,
And then the Lamprey Bridge planking is on here too for
$1,000 for
Yeah.
And then I just wonder about the general fund contribution in 28, 29, and 30 at $100,000.
Yeah.
I know we're not promising anything, and I get the point you made on the vehicles. But that's,
Do you knock that down? Is what you're
I
saying?
would knock it down and just leave it at 50 each year.
we have to have something to shoot for.
This is aspirational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't hurt to keep it there. I mean, it's
We don't-
absolutely going right.
They don't like it when you go up.
Yeah.
So,
It's absolutely going to change because we don't know
Oh, no,
what
I
our
get it.
projects are going to be in those years, but I think it's fine to keep it there. That's the nice thing about the general fund budget is that we don't have to project until 2030 with that one, just so. All right.
Awesome work, Jesse.
Anything else, Jesse, before we, it's not me. Okay.
And Norton.
Is that the next thing? Sorry, I don't have my paper copy tonight. Okay. So we talked a little bit about town meeting and doing the pre town meeting informational. I might actually now have a conflict that entire week before town meeting because I have to go to a hearing in California for work. So yeah, I might be out, but it's not definite yet.
We'll have pizza.
That's fine.
That's right, we'll eat more pizza.
Yes.
Just for you.
Okay. Do you guys still want to do it on that Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll make it work. I'll make Chelsea cheer me.
Okay. Okay. And Lou, you probably won't be there. Okay. All right. So
Well,
we'll
so
stick
it's
with that.
the
Tuesday.
three of us.
Oh,
Mhm. Potentially.
Yeah.
Or... Okay.
You guys will do great.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else for town meeting that we need to talk about right now? I don't think so. Okay. The town report, just to remind folks that we'll need a highway report for the town report. I still need to do my select board and EMD reports.
I'll do it. I do it every year.
And yeah, I'll bug the rest of the officers about getting in their report
this week.
Dedication.
Oh yeah. We can talk about that next meeting. I guess that'll be an assignment. Everyone think about town report dedication. I know, I have to think about that one. So we can bring that up maybe during executive session next time. Reappointment of the town health officer. So these forms that were in the packet, because we didn't get them in before the end of the year for a hot minute, I am the town health officer because the Department of Health was like adamant that if we didn't get them in before December 31st, that there was going to be this like 3-day period where I was going to be the town health officer. But Lindsay's willing to do it again. So we just need to submit these forms. So we just need to essentially appoint her pursuant to their new process. So I'll make a motion that we reappoint Lindsay Hopt as the town health officer for Braintree.
I'll say.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll get those sent in. I think I just have to sign them. Oh, any other thoughts on the V-Trans small scale local safety grant? We have until beginning of February, so we can finalize that next time. But if you have, okay,
Chris has been working on it and Rita's coming Friday to.
okay, great. So we can decide on an application maybe next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Municipal energy resilience program. So making some progress there on the idea about a combined garage floor heating system project. And I've got a whole gaggle of people coming on Monday, the 12th at 11 o'clock to take a look at the system that's currently in the garage, the heating system, and evaluate whether or not we could do a new heating system that serves the garage through the radiant floor idea, and potentially also heats the town office. So it could serve both. But so Lauren, you're welcome if you're around on Monday at 11 o'clock, next Monday at 11. I'll be here with a gentleman from Lime Green Heat from Lyme, New Hampshire, who sells and installs like large pellet boilers, essentially.
Know those guys.
And then Molly Willard from Forest and Parks, who has $25,000 she can give us on top of our MERP funding to install the system. And then 2 people from VEIC who can give us additional, I think it's up to $10,000 to install the system on top of our MERP. So that I'm trying to make like a stack of funding here.
Yes.
So they're all going to be here at 11 o'clock on Monday the 12th, if anybody's interested in stopping by to see how that goes. But they'll be just taking a look at the system. It's
still working.
it's more I think for the guy from the heating appliance and installation company Lime Green Heat to take a look at everything to give us a quote. But I'll also plan on picking brains of other people that are coming to ask about the floor at that time. So, have you gotten any quotes back from the gentleman you were talking with about the floor replacement? Okay.
We're gonna do a heated flooring, so.
Okay. All right. Sounds
Comes
good.
back from Florida.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, new business. Key voice communications.
So
Jesse.
basically what that was is they called the other day and they're trying to shore up some stuff that we haven't had a contract for a while,
Oh.
years
Okay.
with them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically this contract is locking in our current pricing with them for 3 years. And if we don't do it, then pricing starts to go up.
Do it.
So
Okay, but does this include?
Don't get it confused with consolidated.
No, I'm not, but doesn't Key, they're the ones that they're our vendor for like the phone system, right? Like the hi, reach town Braintree, press 3
Yeah.
to talk to Jesse. Okay.
Right.
So this is included in that? This is part of that? This quote includes all of that service?
Yeah, we pay like, that's exactly what we're paying right now. It's actually a little less. We're paying 80 something, because I think
Okay.
there's something for long distance. Something like 2 cents a call or something, so.
Okay.
Um,
And did we get rid of the fax line? Did you do that?
I haven't done that yet. That's not through them.
Oh.
That's through
Consolidated.
Consolidated.
Okay, sorry. Now I'm confusing them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I desperately want to do that, but you can't just talk to somebody and ask them to just shut it off. You have to go online and you have to fill out this paper, and I'm so afraid.
And then
that
fax it to someone.
And I have been nervous about asking to do something that's not what I intended.
Right. Blows
And-
everything up.
And so
Yeah.
then I just,
Okay.
I need to,
That's fine.
because we're paying a ridiculous amount for a line that we're not using.
Right.
So.
Okay. All right, but that's consolidated. So should we vote then to is there contract terms somewhere?
It's a 3-year term.
Okay.
And do you have one printed out?
I don't, I
asked-
just have it in the packet.
I asked them to make They were asked to make a couple changes, which didn't really make much sense, so I asked them to make some other changes today, and, they never sent back the corrected changes.
So can we just approve it once it's corrected? Approve it
Yeah, I think,
when Jesse feels it's corrected.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think, cause I think the quote they sent us was till the 26th. So I can wait until it's actually corrected, everything's
Okay,
the way it's supposed to be, and then,
we can do it next time.
yeah.
Okay.
And there's a spot up there at the top that says term of commitment,
Yeah,
where they could just fill in that.
yeah,
Where?
that's what I was looking, is that there isn't
Oh.
anything filled in there.
Oh, yeah.
So see, there had been originally,
Okay.
so I'm not sure why it's not now, so.
Yeah, we have till the
Okay.
23rd, so we have till our next meeting before we have
Yeah.
time to do the next one.
And in one place they have Janice's name, and in one place they have Holly's name, so that could be
Yes.
corrected too.
I think we should put Brad Doan's name.
Yeah.
Instead of putting,
Holly, Janice, Brad.
put my name on and Paul's name on, but Paul's name shouldn't be on there at all.
No,
Nor his
Yeah.
email address, it should be her and I.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
asked them to make those changes today, and I haven't seen it back yet, so.
Okay,
We'll
we'll,
show
we'll
that.
table it for the next meeting.
Put it on the next.
Okay. Payment orders. Mr. Bennett.
Approve
Hold on,
Oh, yes, sir. Ma'am.
'em. No,
because there should be two different payment orders.
Okay.
there's two.
And one of them is for the GDEDC.
Oh, okay.
Bowl.
Yep.
And so I think you need to approve them separately, and the money is not in the account yet, so I think that that one needs to be approved for payment when.
When it's funded.
Right.
Okay.
This is the reimbursement grant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll start with that. I'll make a motion that we approve the payment of the Green Mountain Economic Development Corporation's first requisition from the Orange County Parent Child Center grant through the state when we receive the reimbursement from the state that was, I think we submitted that, last week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
It's supposed to be within 21 days, right?
It should be sooner than that. Yeah. So, okay. So that's my motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next one.
Move to approve regular payment orders.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That's what we can.
You go. All right. Payroll. Lou.
Move to approve, payroll warrant dated December 31, 2025 for the period December 14 through December 27.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well,
Okay. Oh, Chelsea didn't get this one. Okay.
You can either one, so.
This is like doing a closing.
Or it's like the Marx Brothers movie.
Well, that too.
Okay.
Where are you going with it now?
Oh, sorry.
Have
I was just trying to add to the chaos.
them.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else this evening?
No.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, Paul. Have a good evening.
Thank you all. Have a good night. Take care.
Bye.
back of the